Good gentlemen, and welcome to the QuickSilver Quick Chat. I'm your host, Reserve Wolf, and today we have an absolute treat for you as we are going to go over everything that happened in week 2 of the QRLS. We'll go over our week 2 matchups, over our league rankings, the players of the week, league news, and at the end, we have two very special interviews with Zisel and Zurich. Obviously, as everybody knows, if you've been keeping an eye on the transaction channel, Zurich was traded for Zethel. So Zethel has now gone to the Bleacher Boys and Zurich's to the Kings. It should shake up the league a lot as the Kings are currently at the bottom of their division and Bleacher Boys are second in that division. So, if we can, let's get into the presentation of QuickSilver Quick Chat. So here is your week in review for QRLS Week 2. As we look at our Week 2 matchups here, you'll see on your screen that we have the points on there and not the actual results of the games. It's easier to look at the points of the games to base where our teams are in their season. So starting off, we had 3 Rocketeers versus Arctic Assassins. Arctic Assassins were able to handle 3 Rocketeers 2-1 in the series, giving Arctic Assassins 4 points and 3 Rocketeers 2 points. A very good season. I'm pretty sure 3 Rocketeers was playing with a sub on that day, and they have made some roster changes that we will get into soon. And second, the game of the week, Clarity United versus Bleacher Boys, did not live up to our expectations as Clarity United handled Bleacher Boys 3-0 in a sweep. Clarity United took 6 points over Bleacher Boys, leaving them with nothing and giving Clarity United control of the division. Bleacher Boys were without Long Neck, of course, and Naxi had to come in as that 4th man and sub in, which maybe caused some conflict on the field. There were definitely some comm issues, and Zurich also played in that series, and I got some insight that maybe it was before the end of that series where he got traded. For our second series, we have Astro and Armada. Armada handling the current champion of the QRLS, the current standing champion, the defending champion, as some will call it, of the QRLS. 2-1. They were able to take 4 points. Astros only taking 2 from them. I think that was just a regular series. There were no subs in there. And we have Speed Demons versus Hammerheads. Hammerheads able to take 4 points from Speed Demons, leaving Speed Demons only with 2 in that series. It was a very good series. Billy Bob ended up scoring 9 goals. If I'm correct, that was absolutely incredible from him. And some maybe think it's controversial who the player of the week was picked over him. But let's be honest, Billy Bob will end up getting player of the week sometime again. Next up, we have Kings versus Vibe Clan. Both teams from the Savage division were coming into the series 0-3. They had not gotten a point, and they had not gotten a series yet. Vibe Clan was able to handle Kings very, very well, taking the first 2 games, but Kings were able to take the third, giving them their first 2 points of the season. Spectres versus Sappers. Sappers 3-0'd Spectres, but Spectres were able to get a point off of an overtime in Game 3 when Sappers put in Crocs for socks for Dr. George. Very good switch. Crocs played very well. And in that game, Reserve Wolf ended up breaking the Week 2 demo record, the most demos in a week. And for Mustangs and Cyclones, Cyclones just absolutely destroyed Mustangs, handling them 3-0, not even giving them a point. That is 3 sweeps in our Week 2 matchups, but only for 1 sweep did a team get a point. And Cyclones are looking very promising right now, and Mustangs may be having a down year, but it is only Week 2. We'll see what happens. We have Elite Inc. versus Rangers. This game was off stream, I'm pretty sure. Rangers were able to take the first 2 games, and Elite Inc. luckily took the second So it has caused a bit of a stir in the Epic division, as we'll get into that in just a second. Waffles was definitely the player of the match in that series, as he had, I think, 6 goals, a hat trick, and a couple of saves. So that being said, let's get into the league rankings. As we look at our league rankings here, let's go through the calculated division first. Obviously, Arctic Assassins taking that series over Rocketeers, and it helped one but hurt the other. Arctic Assassins currently leads the calculated division with 8 points. Hammerheads, of course, taking that series against Speed Demons, leaving them in 4th. Hammerheads take that 2nd place spot, 1 point behind Arctic Assassins. 3 Rocketeers, 6 points in 3rd place. They went down 1 from last week, I'm pretty sure. And Speed Demons stayed the same in 4th, only having 4 points. We look in the Savage division here. In 1st place, Clarity, of course, undefeated, 6-0. They have 12 points this season. Bleacher Boys taking that sweep against Clarity, still remain in 2nd place with 6 points. And we look at these bottom 2 teams here, which is the ones we really need to pay attention to. Of course, they were tied for 4th, or for technically 3rd place last week, since they both had 0 points, getting swept by Clarity United and Bleacher Boys. 5 Clan came out of the Kings series, getting 4 points and leaving Kings with 2. And for the Epic division, we have the Sappers getting to 10 points. They are the 3rd double-digit team in the QRLS. They're currently leading the Rangers by 2 points. Rangers are sitting in 2nd with 8 points. Elite Inc. 3rd with 4 points. Inspectors with 4 points. So a good tie in the bottom there. Those 2 teams shouldn't be worried. This is going to be a very hard division to get out of, and it should stay close all year. And if we look at the 6th division now, Cyclones coming to surprise us all. This division has moved so much. They are our 2nd double-digit point team. They are also sitting at 10 points like the Sappers in leading Armada by 2. Sick and Epic looking like very similar divisions, but I feel like very different skill levels right now. What we'll find out is the Sappers do play the Cyclones later this week. We see Armada sitting in 2nd with 8 points. Astros, the defending back-to-back champions, sitting in 3rd with 4 points. A little bit of a shocker to everybody. See if Crouton and GM Flicks can bring that team to greatness. And in 4th place, we have Mustangs with 2 points. Not the greatest start for them, but they aren't in last at least. They're tied with Kings. So let's move on to our players of the week. So for our players of the week, we have XS Sniper 50 from the calculated division. Had a very good game. Got it over Billy Bob. He finished the game with 7 goals, 5 assists, and 3 saves. An absolute great game from him. Definitely carried his team to glory. For the Savage division, we have Golden Pickle. What a game Golden Pickle had in the game of the week against Bleacher Boys. He brought Clarity United to that 3-0 victory. Some people say Alex is the star, but it's really those 3 other players that stand out. Without those 3 others, Alex would not be able to do what he does on the field. Golden Pickle finished with 8 goals, which is the 2nd most this week behind Billy Bob, 3 assists, and 2 saves. He was a helper in passes and an absolute great goal scorer. For the Epic division, we have Vivo from Elite Inc. Although Elite Inc. fell to Rangers 2-1, Vivo was definitely the reason they did not lose 3 games in that series. He had 7 saves and a savior, which is absolutely insane. 7 saves in 3 games. He was doing work while the Rangers were pounding the back post, but luckily he was able to save those, giving Elite Inc. that Game 3 win. He had 1 assist and 6 goals, which is tied for 3rd, I'm pretty sure. And for the SIC division, we have ZDL Pinky. Did good with Armada there. Brought Armada, I think, their first series victory of the week against the defending champion Astros. He had 4 goals, 1 assist, and 8 saves. 8 saves is just absolutely insane. He led the week with the 8 saves, if I'm pretty sure. I can look on the stat sheet in a second. But just an absolute incredible series from him. I applaud him for that. So there are your players of the week calculated XS Sniper 50, Savage, Golden Pickle, Epic Division, Vivo, and Sick Division, ZDL, Pinky. So let's get into our league news, shall we? If you've noticed on stream, there is a new QRLS ball, which, oh my lord, I can't tell you how much I love it. It looks absolutely incredible on stream. You can see a little picture of it in the top right. The new X account got launched at QRLS_official. If you haven't already, go follow us. We post daily updates on the games and everything. The QRLS YouTube is back if you want to go check that out at QuickSilver Rocket League, SCR6663. We may need to get that handle changed, but we'll do that in the meantime. You can go over to our YouTube. There should be a highlight up already of the Hammerheads game. There will be highlights every week. Reserve Wolf breaks the record for most demos in a week with 18 demos in week 1 and 20 demos in week 2. It was previously held by Alex in season 9. Week 4, I'm pretty sure, with 14 demos. Reserve Wolf crushed it by getting 4 more in week 1 and then 6 more in week 2. A big trade, Cyclones trade Kingsman Tom to Armada in return for Warshino. This has obviously worked out very well for them. Warshino, a very underrated player. It'll be nice to see how he branches himself out as the time goes on. Bleacher Boys trade Xeric to Kings in return for Zethel. We're going to get that down to that one and later in the stream, a complete switch up. Xeric, of course, going to the bottom team in the league, and Zethel going to the second place team in the Savage Division. Speed Demons dropped Mass Moon to 2-day waivers. Mass Moon, a veteran of the league, sadly getting dropped by Speed Demons. He will be on a team soon, I'm sure. And 3 Rocketeers signed Kip Taro from free agency, dropping JJ Cool. Personally, I love this move. Kip Taro, an absolute veteran of the league. Should be very interesting to see how they incorporate him in their play. Kip Taro, of course, is a multiple-time All-Star Season 8 and Season 9. He played as a sub in Week 1. And that is it for our league news. So we should be able to get into our interviews soon. Just give us a moment while we get everything ready. We'll be right back with you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and by my side for the interview is Zethel. How do you feel, Zethel?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, Zethel. So let's get right down to it. Let's get into the questions. How does it feel to be traded this early in the season?
Pretty good. It means, people are wanting me. I guess decent feeling, new roster. I have Chem with long neck, so it's definitely different, but I don't mind at all.
Very good, Zethel. I do like that answer. You and Longneck should be an absolute treat to watch on the field. Longneck's a veteran. You're a veteran. So, what are you planning to prove after this trade?
Can you repeat the question?
What are you planning to prove after this trade? How do you want to prove yourself after it?
I want to prove that I'm a really capable player and that I can do things on the field that I wasn't able to before. I got better.
Do you like that answer? We all do like to get better, Zethel.
Yep.
Why do you think your side got the better end of the trade?
I wouldn't say there's any better side. It's just I have better chemistry with Longneck, I'd say. It is definitely different. I play way different than Zyrek, I'd say. But yeah, there's not really a specific better side, I'd say.
I do like that answer as well. Choosing not to put anybody down or put anybody up. Do like that. Is there anything you want to say to the QRLS community?
Non-specific, I'd say. I mean, they know me. I know them. I've been in a lot of VCs over the past while.
Absolutely. As a veteran, you've been through the QRLS for a while. Do you think this team can propose a new opportunity to advance your career in the QRLS?
I'd say definitely. I've been because school's ending. I've been focusing more on Rocky League, and I don't have to focus on school that much. So I definitely have the excess time to spend. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing with Long Neck and Naxi and Corey this season to see how it goes, and hopefully it'll make me a better player. I'd say, which I think it will.
Awesome. And you've already talked about Long Neck a lot in your chemistry with him, so I probably know the obvious answer to this question. How do you think Bleacher Boys fit your style?
I'd say like they just fit my natural play style where I challenge most of the balls I can get, and playing on them or playing on Bleacher Boys allows me to kind of do what I want in a sense, with my mechanics and my whole personality as a Rocky League player.
Absolutely. Well, that's all I have for you, Zethel. Thank you so much for coming on and being on stream. I'm sure that people love to hear your voice, love to hear you speak. So, is there any last words you want to say?
Non-specific. It's like have a nice night, I guess.
Absolutely. Thank you, Zethel.
No problem. See ya.
And as Zethel leaves us, goodbye, Zethel. It was a very good interview. We're now going to try and get Xeric in here, the other side of the trade, who went to Kings. So while we do that, we'll be right back again. Hello, everybody. We are back with our last interview of the evening. To my right, well, that's my left because the camera switched. To my right, we have Xeric right there. Thank you for joining us for this interview, Xeric. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's nice to actually be here, able to explain my history with QRLS so far.
Absolutely. So let's hop into the questions. How does it feel to be traded this early in the season?
Honestly, my first thought behind the trade was I was pretty shocked. I know the reasoning behind it, but I was still shocked to find out I was being traded, especially because me and the majority of the Bleacher Boys, we played on a team together before I was even introduced into QRLS, so we already had pre-existing chemistry. So being traded pretty quickly kind of made me feel like I wasn't being, backed by the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I can understand that frustration and that shock. And I guess it very much well leads into this next question. What are you planning to prove after this trade?
Honestly, I like you said, I did kind of answer it a little bit. I'm planning to prove that the trade didn't necessarily work out for them. They kind of traded me too early on to allow me to prove a lot of myself.
Yeah, I have to agree. You are a great player, and there's so much to prove in this league for you. Why do you think your side got the better end of the trade?
Well, I've heard a lot of things about Zethel, how he was super mechanical, but tons of people told me that there was a bit of a commitment issue when it came to Zethel and doing scrims or game time. I would also say, on top of the fact we beat them 3-0 in first game of the season, so it kind of just it made me question. Don't get me wrong, Zethel, phenomenal player. I've seen this guy clip on me in a six-man's game. It was crazy, but I sort of think Kings did get a little bit better the trade, not just rating wise, but I kind of fit with BHF and Junior a lot better now that I've played with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anything you want to say to the QRLS community?
You guys better be looking out for the Kings. We're coming for every team. We're coming for that championship, and you better believe we're putting our A game on.
Gonna stomp out that 1-5. It sounds like.
Yeah, I'm gonna help them. They're gonna help me. We're gonna get that 1-5 back up, and we're gonna win this whole thing.
Absolutely. As a rookie, has the QRLS and playing with Bleacher Boys changed your play style any?
So, two funny things. It hasn't really changed my playstyle. It's kind of been the same all throughout. Secondly, I shouldn't be listed as a rookie. I played last season of the QRLS about halfway through with the Rangers when it was Bolt, Cub, and Sniper. And we did pretty good. We made it to playoffs, but I don't believe we actually went, as far as winning anything. Um, but I find it funny that I'm still listed as a rookie, so it still gives me the whole it's my rookie debut aspect. So I think my playstyle hasn't changed though. I've been playing consistently with them. My playstyle through ranked, through six mans, through QRLS, even doing the RLCS 1v1 circuit, it hasn't changed.
That's
I'm
awesome to
still
hear.
aggressive.
It's awesome to hear. And I'm pretty sure in the QRLS there is a rule. It's a certain amount of games for you not to be listed as a rookie. So I don't think you met that criteria game. So technically, you still are a baby face. You're still
I
a rookie of
know.
the league.
I know.
And for our final question, how do the Kings fit your style?
Um, it's very nice to have teammates who know when to stay back and know when to challenge. A lot of the issues that me and the Bleacher Boys had is there were moments where we were double committing quite a lot. Um, and that's not really as much of an issue anymore now that I'm with Kings. Junior, who is I think one of our better players, he sort of stays back quite a bit. He enables me and BHF to do what we do good, which is me and BHF are really good at solo plays. So Junior kind of allows me to get up with the ball. He gives me the space that I need, but if he needs to shoot, he's there to shoot, and he doesn't really miss.
Absolutely. I can understand that there. And that is going to be the end of our questions. Xeric, thank you for joining us. And I think you said it in your QRLS community, but I'll ask one more time. Any last words you want to say to the stream?
Honestly, nothing from me, but I hope everybody has a great time. Hope the interviews went well. I'm just glad I was able to make it home for this one.
Absolutely. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you, Xeric. You're free to go.
All right, take care.
And that is going to do it for QuickSilver Quick Chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. 18 viewers I see right now. Appreciate y'all watching. I've been your host, Reserve Wolf. Make sure to follow the QRLS on Twitter at QRLS_official and our social media channel. You will see a new YouTube video posted. You can obviously find our Twitch channel right here if you haven't. Maybe drop your Prime sub, follow. It'd be great for us. I've been your host, Reserve Wolf. Keep it quick.